Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Twitten of course. So last night for me at least, there was this Team Fortress 2 update of about over 100 megabytes download. There hasn't been any weapon changes or anything, there have been some bug fixes, and also King of the Hill Sujin has been changed a little bit, improved a little bit, but mainly they have added a new game mode, which is still in beta. So it's still labeled as a beta game mode, which also means that to play this, you have to go to the main menu, press the play multiplayer button, select the beta option in the bottom left, sorry, and then you get an option to play to find servers as the pastime game mode. So to explain how this game mode works, in short, it's TF2 soccer, yes. Or TF2 football, or wherever you're from. I'll just call it soccer for easier sake. But there's much more to it than that though. It's a little bit, you can compare it a little bit to CTF as well, where there's only one intelligence and you have to take the intelligence to the enemy base. So yes, bit like soccer. Now there are some things that are of course different in this game mode, like for example you have speed power-ups, you have launch pads or jump pads that launch you upwards or in a certain direction. It's also in some sort of Team Fortress 2E map with containers and buildings and whatnot. The only difference is again that there are speed power-ups and jump and launch pads and whatnot. So when you pick up the ball, you might think, okay, you're very, very vulnerable. It's like carrying the intelligence, you're very weak and everybody's going after you. But actually you have some buffs that help you a little bit in survivability. For example, you got permanent health regeneration. Your health kind of regenerates just like a medic, for example. You also get a temporarily speed boost as soon as you pick it up, so you can get quickly out of the situation. And you also get a temporarily invulnerability, I think it was. And you also see, you can have also some sort of weird wall hack vision where you can see both your teammates and also the enemies. And so you can try to go around them. They can't see you, not directly. You do have like a trail behind you, which makes it more obvious what path you took, but you can see the enemies and you can maybe try to avoid them a little bit. And there's also a strategy element to this gameplay, just like soccer. You might not be able to tell, people are just like running after the ball, but you have to, of course, play as a team, which is pretty standard Team Fortress 2 gameplay, but this game would definitely emphasize it even more, because you have to like pass to each other and whatnot. And at the end of the match, if it ends on a tie, if both teams, for example, have 2 scores, then it goes into sudden deaths. If you don't know what sudden death is, it means basically you have 1 life. If you die, that's it, and there's also no health packs to be found on the map. There's definitely a problem with this game mode though, and that's the significant problem of engineers just turtling in the background, just building sentries at the goal, basically. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like a round thing, but it's kind of a goal, yes. So how can they improve this game mode? I would make it a little bit more faster paced. I mean, even when you play Scout, and Scout is definitely, outside of Engineer, probably the most viable class, I think, because you are just faster and it's easier to carry the ball. I would make it a little bit more faster paced, maybe add a few jump pads and whatnot, and maybe some more speed boosts, and I would also allow people to throw the ball further. Because again, this comes back to the sentries in the back. Like I tried to go around the sentries by just throwing the ball at the goal from like long distance, but it didn't really work. Maybe if you can aim it like perfectly, then it works, but it's very fiddly and it doesn't seem to work so far. So I would say that they should allow you to throw the ball a bit further, but then again, because of people are so slow in Team Fortress 2, it's going to take a while to get the ball and to go from one side of the map to the other. I tried to play Soldier in this game mode and it did work out well, so later on just switched to Scout and it went much better. And maybe something that would also be cool is maybe allow you to destroy sentries with the ball. That's also a way of getting rid of the sentries all at the back. That's prevent you from getting those goals. And I had matches like really taking a very long time just because of the sentries at the back. So it's that I would say definitely a significant problem that they needs to fix, but again, it's still in beta, so they probably will. And what's also interesting about this update is actually not made by the Team Fortress 2 devs, I think it was. It says it on their blog that it was like something like third party. Some guys at the bad robot that made it, I think it was. So it's not actually made by Team Fortress 2 devs themselves, which is interesting. I mean, if it means more Team Fortress 2 updates in the future, that other people are going to make stuff for Team Fortress 2, like they already are doing with the maps. Like last big update, the Gamemode update, that Valve actually only made one of those 4 maps. The other 3 were all community made, so if that means more updates for Team Fortress 2, I don't really mind if the community or other developers make some things for Team Fortress 2. So it's interesting what see what they are going to do with this. Now, I will stop babbling about this new game mode. I say go enjoy the new game mode. Woohoo! Thanks for watching and take care first.